It is March of 2020 and I do have the most current Smart Art box. However, that's not what we're doing today. I may have taken a small peek inside this box and just not in the mood for it this week. So instead, we're doing one from April of 2018. Very old, I know, but if you've seen my other videos, you know I have a lot of old subscription boxes that haven't been gone through. So that's what we're doing today. Stay tuned. And then next week, we'll get to this one. And in this old subscription box, we have a good selection of supplies. As usual, under the tissue paper is our instruction sheet, and it looks like lettering or Zentangle. And we have that soft, silky paper we just got in a recent box. I didn't like it back in 18, by the way. And a whole Tombow lettering package, and the autofocus thing will fix itself here in a second. Or actually, I fix it manually. Same difference, right? And then we have Niji watercolors. Funny story about those later. And the last thing is a nice round paintbrush. So the Smart Art instructions say you can download these lettering practice worksheets, but they also say on them not to use your dual brush pens right on copy paper. So if you're just printing these out on your printer, you won't want to use your pens on these. They recommend grabbing tracing paper to use to protect your tips. So just grab your tracing paper and use this here. Something about the paper, it says you can use HP Premium Choice LaserJet paper, but otherwise you're going to want to use tracing paper over the top and then use your pens. So just like that, and then write on that part. And just a quick interlude, most of this footage was actually taken in April of 2018 when I looked at the timestamp of the video. And I hated lettering back then, but my son was really excited about it. So these are his disembodied hands you see here. And he was thrilled to do some lettering. So he went through the whole alphabet and maybe some more, and then wanted to try the rest of the project as well. So you'll see that he gets out. My cat always helps me during recording. It's not very helpful, is it? Anyway, he gets out that paper. I love that paper today. Back then, I'm like, I can't believe they sent this paper with this project. It's for lettering, but they sent it with watercolors, and they showed that you are supposed to be able to paint on it, and I was kind of confused because it doesn't handle any kind of water or anything like that. But now, if you saw my video, I'll link it up in the iCard about the recent box where we got this paper and the markers they sent with it. I love this paper, and I had actually given away this paper from this set and the lettering pens, and now I'm like, oh, that's too bad because it's really nice with markers. So here's me trying it out a little bit, just something simple and easy because I wasn't all that thrilled with it at the time, but still had fun messing around as usual. That's what subscription boxes are good for. For testing out the watercolors, I'm just going to use this Canson XL paper. It is not my favorite paper at all for using with watercolor. I like arches, but we're just going to see how these watercolors do and use this paper to do that. So it's not always great to test new art supplies on paper you don't like, so I wouldn't recommend that necessarily, but we're going to do it anyway because I can. Before we get started, I just wanted to show you the watercolors that I have up on my shelf. I was talking to you in the beginning of the video about how I have these. They just sit up there on the shelf until like neighbors come over and want to mess around with paint or whatever, because I've always considered them throwaway watercolors, so not anything I would ever really use. Look, this one's not even open. Anyway, so I wouldn't have ever considered using them for my actual projects, so it'll be interesting to see how they perform, considering I have a lot of them right here, plus the ones I just got. Okay, look, the lid even has the same tab as the old one. See that? Look at that. We'll see. For what I'm thinking about doing, I'm gonna need some more of this red, which is carmine, vermilion. Pretty liquidy, that one. This lemon yellow. I think I have enough burnt umber out already. I don't really like to use black, but I'm gonna stick a little bit in there. Let's see. Then I will grab my good brush, because I need a bigger brush than this to do this project. We will get started. And here I am using the big brush to water the whole thing, and I started using these paints and I was kind of surprised actually. I thought they would be awful, terrible, chalky bad, but I liked them until I added the black. The black caused some problems, so you'll hear me talking later about the black and wondering if that was why we have chalkiness and weirdness, but it's hard to say. So just doing a simple sunset painting with a little black tree. Alright, now we just have to let this dry to put in the actual tree here. So I'm gonna just add a little yellow right here though. Yeah, I like that. I don't know, the paints are kind of vibrant. That's kind of neat. I'm working on what I consider paper I don't like, to be nice. So this here, little chalkiness, I don't like chalkiness, but I added the black on that section. So when this dries, I'm gonna try not to overwork this, but I'll go back over this with some more pure red, and I will darken it with a different color instead. Probably add a little blue to it, make it a little purpley, and go from there. So we're gonna let this dry, and then we'll be back to it. And I decided not to add blue or anything else to it, just more of the red. And it helped cover some of that weirdness, but didn't cover it completely. And I think it probably is from the black. But and here I am using their lettering pen to draw in the tree. Thought that would be fun. I really like the vibrancy of that and this. So I think the black mixing might have messed that up. Oh, I don't. That got kind of purpley. Maybe there was still black there. So we may have to try another project at a later time. I'll just post a different video, a little more in-depth project using these paints, because like I said, there's a couple things about them I really like. I think we just might avoid the black as far as mixing it in with colors, because it looks good here. And look at this little halo where those fingers went out. Love that. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, let's peel the tape. It's not quite dry, but we want to see it, right? Best part of the day, tape peeling. Oh yeah. Uh-oh, look at that. What the heck? Ruined our perfect one. Ooh, I love this part. Ta-da! Okay, I've got a line there. I don't know if we can do anything about it, or if we want to do anything about it. Okay, I should probably just stop because it's not getting any better. Stopping. There it is. So closing thoughts on this box. The paints weren't terrible. I expected them to be terrible, and they really weren't. But now that I have some more experience with watercolors and all of that, I want to... The cat's helping. I want to do another project with them and just kind of see, and maybe I'll even do a comparison between those paints and maybe my core. That could be interesting. So subscribe down below if you don't want to miss any of that. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great week. Yes, kitty, you too. Don't drink that. Hey.